Things rewrite your history, light up your batteries, museum victories. Every day we wanted everything, wanted everything. Seems to be out. It's the thing. And I hate to see Come on, team, let's go. G-Man, guess what, G-Man? There. Because I'm on Zoom. There we go. T-shirt. Go on, Jan. Absolutely shitting myself that I forgot someone. We've got T-shirts, trophies, pads, pens, booklets, and anything else I can find to spend some money on in the next week to make it even better. So, guys, welcome. We are all Facebookers, aren't we? Who is on Zoom? We've got Jane and Amanda. Amanda, how you doing? Amanda, hopefully you are coming over to run the... Imagine the next set of T-shirts are going to be ultra finishers, not marathon finishers. If you're not in for the ultra, stop being a pussy. I'm only kidding. Not. Everyone can do it, guys. There's been a lot of questions, right? It's not trying to run an ultra as fast as possible, but I will be setting an 8-hour time cap. And 8 hours is roughly, an ultra's roughly 8 laps of Rother Valley, give or take. So we're looking to really complete a lap every hour, which is 5K. For 42 kilometers is a marathon. 50 kilometers is considered an ultra. Some hardcore... Yeah, Luke should be ultra finisher this time. Next time, Luke, it'll be a 50 miler. Hardcore ultra runners might argue that it has to be 50 miles or above for an ultra. But if you look in the stats, 50 kilometers is an ultra. So that is the distance, 10 laps of Rother Valley in 8 hours. So it's only just over an lap per hour. It's achievable for anyone who's willing to start now and do the training, whether that's starting off with 4 or 5Ks per week. Like I said, all you have to do is post in the Facebook group or comment on here, set yourself up a free account at www.trainingpeaks.com. Let me know when you've done it and I will schedule the runs in. You can run it at a very slow pace. It's not about how fast you can run. It's about building the mental resilience to keep going through it. And you might have noticed we did some visualization work at the last marathon, and 19 people who will be receiving those t-shirts on Saturday, well, the ones that are attending, will. Right, Luke. God, stop arguing and distracting me. We'll be receiving those t-shirts along with the awards. So now, funnily enough, Luke and Jan, before I go on to some coaching, has anyone got any questions, by the way? Struggle to believe that, especially out of 82 newbies that are on the Unbreakable 90 Challenge, that none of you have got a single question about mindset training or nutrition that you want me to answer. Either that, or I'm just very, very good at my job and everything's been clearly answered in the onboarding process and everything. But because Luke's taking the piss out of me, Luke, you're getting a phone call straight. He's done this for years, guys, right? He's done this for about 2 years now. I'm in the car and I'm like in peak flow, and then Luke posts some comment in and then I forget what I'm talking about. So you guys might have seen Jan and Jan, Joyce Bracewell in the house. How you doing? You might have seen Jan and Luke taking the piss out of me, because this is still not up, still not using it. I'm still just using the microphone on the Mac. But tell you what, there's some good reasoning behind this. Now, anybody who suffers with anxiety and stress, you should massively listen up to what I'm about to say. Let me just see if I can share the screen to give you guys a bit of insight. Might embarrass Luke now, actually. Okay, can you guys see that screen on? I need to be careful, don't give too much away here. How do I get rid of this? Can you guys see this screen on Facebook? I'm so good. Oh, there's Tom Dickinson, if you can see the screen. There you go. About 20 more ladies have just signed up and bought a ticket. You guys see that on Facebook? Luke, comment. Can you see that on Facebook? Guys, can you see that on Zoom? It'll do that thing where it disappears now. So we have not proofed by G-Man yet, so don't slate me too early. But I'm just going to give you a little quick insight into these slides. If it stops doing that crazy thing where it disappears. Right. Are you ready? You're only going to see this very quickly. So, designing your dream year wins. We have an absolute wealth of content going through. Then we have Ian Lambert, the triathlon world record holder, speaking. We have Levi Stefan talking on Fuel Your Future. And we have the incredibly tall, well-dressed, hyper attractive, massive, more ripped. I need to stop booking people who are better looking, taller and bigger than me to speak. That's a note to myself. Right into that session. Then we've got the final sessions. Then we've got a little bit about the story. Look at this for a slide. Oh, it's not coming up now. Taking a while to load. But there you see, guys. Now, the reason why I'm showing you all these is not because I want to give you too much of an insight into what's actually going to happen on Saturday, because we don't want to give it away. There's lots in there. But this is how we handle anxiety. So we made lots of jokes about me having not yet set that mic up. But when those slides weren't, in fact, those slides still aren't finished. There's 3 more to go, which is the 2 times client of the year. And the, I feel like I need to go back actually, because I need to just like, I feel like I've let Luke down now. Let's go off on a tangent. So that was I haven't taken that slide off yet. It's actually that slide is actually part of the sales deck. It's not liking showing any pictures, is it? 2 seconds. See how this works. There we go. Look at that. Freeman, pierced tongue on a dance floor. The blonde in the background, clearly checking out my bum. A little bit of story about my mum. We're going to go through the injuries, the setbacks, the achievements, and everything in between, and tie all this into coming into the end. So the reason why I tell you all this, they need to be realigned. I'm just going to show you this quickly as well. This is what I meant about not letting Luke down. So this is what Luke's actually achieved since we've been here. This is part of the sales deck, not what we're going to do on Saturday. Ran his first marathon, and now ultra marathon. That needs changing, doesn't it, Luke? Let's get rid of that text as well. Brought back hours of family time to enjoy with his family, become one of the best role models to his kids, become a strong leader in this community, supercharge his energy, confidence, building a bulletproof mindset. Lost 7 stone, built a ton of lean quit his dead-end job, started a business and trebled his income. Powerful stuff, right? Now, those 37 slides have now all been planned. The t-shirts have now arrived. The pens are in the building. I'm now picking up the workbooks, the pads for you guys to write in today. And yes, I will be taking your phones off you after the first 10 minutes when I'm obviously going to get you to film it and put it on social media. No, I won't just get you to put your phones in the middle of the table. But what I want you guys to know with Saturday, it's going to be an immersive experience. Like, you've done the personal development, right? You've done the videos, you've done the mindset stuff. You've listened to me, Brian Keane, Ant Middleton, Darren Hardy, everyone in between. We need to make sure at some point that we transition. I'm not even finished what I was talking about 5 minutes ago yet, but it's here, don't worry. We need to transition from Joy. We'd love to see you on Saturday, by the way, if you want to come. We need to transition from information to implementation. We don't have a knowledge problem, we have an implementation problem. Most of you know what to do, you're just not doing what you know. So the slides will be delivered to you afterwards. So you don't need to be frantically trying to write down everything that's on every slide. The booklets are there. So again, you have the booklets and the slides to take away. There will be some bits when I'm asking you to write. But what I'm saying is we're going to immerse ourselves in the day and focus on listening and taking the information in, but then battle planning. How do we, yes, we're going to walk away fired up to fuck, inspired. Okay, the energy in that room is going to be electric, I will guarantee it, especially when I run out in a yellow mankini. No, I'm not going to do that. But we have to then transition to how do we take it from that day into our lives and imply it. And that's what I'm going to leave you with on the days. That's my explicit intention, is to leave you with a plan for the year and the action steps that are needed to implement it to make sure this is the best year of your life. Now, someone asked me this the other day. I said, fucking hell, are you like, I've just seen that story. I've just seen that post. Are you nervous about Saturday? Not nervous at all. Only thing I'm slightly nervous about is technical issues. Because the food and beverage manager was about as much help as a chocolate fucking teapot when me and Ed went up. It was a good job Ed was there. He didn't really know where anything was, how it worked, what his name was, what time he finished work, or anything in between. I'm sure he's very good at his food and beverage job. But technical wise, I was expecting someone who would know what they were actually talking about. You can't have music and a microphone in the speakers at the same time. What the fuck? So that's the only thing I'm nervous about. But what is all of that apart from having Ed on hand? Out of my control. And it will be what will be. Everything else will be taken care of. But up until last night, when I finished those slides, things weren't taken care of. As I said, there's 3 slides to go. Now, This is why that microphone's still in that box. Not because I'm lazy, Luke and Jan, you cheeky little bum holes. Because we have to prioritize what's important. Last week, messing around getting that microphone out would have been classic procrastination. Anything outside of, I've got Adam Dunbar, who's my social media manager, just screaming at me for content. Not interested. I was going to do a year review video for the event, and I might still have time to do that, but it wasn't the most important thing. What was the most important thing? Slides, content, technical check, t-shirts, pens, trophies. And this is how you calm anxiety. Like someone literally, I'm gonna bat if Luke Birch wasn't such an amazing client and friend and father, I'd just ban him. So now I've done it now. Forgotten what I was talking about. Those things were all most important. Okay. And everything has to come latter. But this is what we do. And you'll do this in your fitness and you'll do this in your nutrition. I'll just do this thing that really doesn't fucking matter and then I'll go for a run. No, go for the run and then do the other thing if you get time. You have to get clear on what's important to you each and every week and each and every day and do that first, which is why you have that big thing that's over there with the black cover and the yellow writing that says Daily Success Planner. Because if we don't plan a successful day, it's not just going to happen by chance. And that's why all the questions are in there. What is today's most important task? And honestly, I can literally hand on heart say, like, Luke is taking the mickey out of me there as he does every day. But it hasn't been in the previous 16 weeks. It hasn't been that far up the list that the audio on this isn't that bad that I need to do that. The Rode mics are and the lights up and everything looks great because that's important. But I will probably mess around with that for 2 to 3 hours and then it might go wrong. So it's not the point. Now, when am I going to do that microphone? Tell you exactly when I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on the 10th of February. When Adam Dunbar comes to set this room up properly with speakers, proper camera, this is all going to look even better than it is now. The microphone will be in place and everything will sound at a different level of delivery. Because again, I'm not a technical person in that area. So yes, I could take 2-3 hours out and mess around and I probably won't know how it'll work and I'll probably break it and it'll stress me out. And then it'll get to 5 o'clock at night and it's like, oh, I've not scheduled any content. I've not done all the check-ins. And now I've got to go and pick Logan up. And now I'll go into blame, complain. Oh my God, I'm so busy. I'll start making everything everyone else's fault. I'll start making it Logan's fault. I'll start making it Nat's fault. I'll start making it traffic's fault. I'll start making it the weather's fault. We've all done it, right? I've done that many times. When really, no, you got distractedly and you spent half the day pissing around doing things you didn't need to do. And you created the anxiety. You created the stress. So now, tick box, t-shirts, trophies, pens, technical checks, videographer, hotel rooms booked, spoken to all the speakers. Only thing I've got to do is sort of spreadsheet with a list of all the names in so that when a man like Luke Birch meets and greets you at the door, we know that there's no strays sliding into the Unbreakable party. And that's it. Everything's taken care of. And I know the content inside out. So again, this is going back to the very first point that I was talking about when people saying, aren't you nervous? No. Was I nervous the last 3 times I spoke? Yeah, massively. Why? Because I didn't know my shit. Hadn't practiced it, did the slides a couple of days before, hadn't actually spoken the slides, I'd just written them out, thought I'd be okay, thought I could wing it, didn't have backup plan. The content was like literally scheduled for an hour, forgetting like you tend to talk quite a lot faster when you get carried away. And that's the cut and short of it, guys. So we create your own anxiety. Again, you know, if you're not too sure where the hotel is and you're a little bit nervous, might it be a good idea getting there at 7:30, not 9 a.m.? if you have a job interview or any form of appointment, might it be, and you're not really sure where you're going, might it be a good idea to plan at least 45 minutes to get there before? Then you can sit in the car, park up, do a recce, find where it is, get some steps in, get a coffee. This is what these are the two things that happen in life, the major causes of stress and anxiety. We leave everything to the last minute, or even when it comes down to doing the thing, we create timelines so tight that we're almost setting ourselves up to fail. You know, if I've got a physio appointment at 1 o'clock, I'd much rather arrive at 12:15, park up and do some work in the car, rather than the sat nav says it's going to take me 45 minutes. My appointment's at 1 o'clock, so I'll set off at 12:15 and then wonder why I'm fucking stressed to shit, fucking missing the turning, on the phone, anxiety's through the roof, pissing around on your phone in your car. Check, are you going to make it on time? Oh God, now I've got lost because I'm so stressed. Do you get what I mean? Stacey Pears, exactly. This is me. So again, I released a reel on that last night. The quality of your results comes down to the quality of your planning. So get planned this week, but don't just plan stuff. Like drop me a yes if this is you, especially on Facebook, and hashtag replay if you're watching on replay. How many times in your life who went to university and left their dissertation and every seminar and every presentation until the day before, and then ended up pulling an all-nighter? Pretty much every student in history, right? This is why I believe personal development should be taught at a younger age. Logan is going to be a fucking mindset warrior. Like ADHD and autism isn't even going to be a thing because his mind is going to be on fire because I'm already training him. 5 years old. He's already listening to what Nat and I are saying. It's already going in. He writes in the planner. He copies. He organizes. He's obsessed with organizing. He's obsessed with tidying. He's obsessed with everything being in the right place because he's copying. So then, not just the university thing, but anything in life. Ladies, this is a classic one. You've got a wedding coming up and you all leave getting the dress until the fucking Friday. The wedding's on Saturday. Then it comes in the post and it's the wrong size, and then you wonder why you're stressed. You've known the wedding was coming up for like 16 weeks. We all do it. We all do it. Job interviews, waiting to prep until the night before, doing that exact thing. It says we're creating our own anxiety. So it's, yes, the level of your results comes down to the level of your planning. Okay. The level of your results comes down to the level of your scheduling, but it's not just about planning and scheduling. It's not just about endless to-do lists. It's not just about writing things down. So that's my advice for you today, this morning. Get clear on it, like I've done mine. What is today's number one priority? Is finish those last 3 slides, which is client of the year 1, client of the year 2, and the first ever unbreakable warrior, who I cannot wait to give him/her, not giving anything away, the trophy. Can females be warriors? Now everyone's confused. And then what's my next most important thing? Book the hotels and finish the Spotify playlist. That's it. Then everything's done. Monday afternoon, Monday morning, everything's done, apart from that guest list. So then I can start to dig into my other stuff. Right. What's my next most important job? What are my 3 other most do's? And sometimes you might not know, you think, oh, I don't really know what it is. So then what I advise you doing is a brain dump. Brain dump can be so powerful. In fact, if I do a brain dump, do you want me to post it up in the Facebook group and I'll show you? I'll show you how I'll do it. I'll brain dump. This will like melt your head. I'll brain dump everything that's on my to-do list currently. I bet I'm probably going for 45 minutes and it's about 3 pages. I've got a lot of shit that I want to achieve. Got a lot of stuff that I want to do. Got big goals. But I can't just run at those like a disorganized idiot all day because I'll create my own stress. I'll create my own overwhelm. So once I've done that list, I'm looking at value, but value, right? Which ones are going to make me money? Because let's face it, we've all got bills to pay. I'm not going to piss around doing low value jobs when I've got high value jobs that can be done. I'm going to look at urgency. Which ones are actually urgent and which ones am I making up being urgent? And I'm going to look at the time frames. Is there a deadline to this job or am I creating it? And then I'll go through and I'll number them. And then once I've numbered them, I'll put everything back onto the brain dump and the priorities and the 3 must-dos will go into my list. And that's how we start to move forward. That's how we start to move focused. So I hope that's been helpful, guys. But as I said, planning and scheduling is the key. Show me your plan, I'll show you results. What doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. You've heard me say it so many times. If it's not in your plan, if you haven't put your training session in a diary with a time today, stop bullshitting yourself. You have no intention of going. Stop lying. By the way, I'll also be calling myself out as a liar on Saturday and telling you about all the lies I used to tell about how it was different for me. The other thing, well done. Proud of you all. So many people who are killing it already, putting the effort in, doing the training, getting the raw, the prompt, the Luke Westnidge, smashing it. Ange Grice, smashing it. Joy, smashing it. And many, many more. Can't remember and mention all the new ones, but people are putting the work in, getting results, and moving forward. Now, why this is so important, what I'm about to say. I found it hard to get up this morning. Me and Julie did 10K at 20 past 6. Me, Julie smashed it first time she's done 5 miles in less than an hour. Big ups to Hollingsworth, who's also got a t-shirt. It was the first day when I was like, oh, I could proper do without this morning. And I've nailed I've tick boxed every single session of my first month training block for the 200 miles so far, meticulously. So when I woke up, I'm thinking, if I'm feeling like this, some of the guys are definitely feeling like this. Horrific last night, wasn't it? I don't know where I know you're all based in different places, but it was literally like, I'm surprised my house hasn't blown down. The rain was twatting against the windows. Didn't really sleep very well. Freezing cold. But this is when it counts. And I'm what I call future pacing here. You know, we're moving into week 3 official, week 3 to 4 official, depending on when you started. Some of you have been on it 6-7 weeks that are on the challenge. Obviously, some of you have been here up to 8 years, I think, Lee Newell. But it will get tough now. And these next 6 weeks are critical because this is when it kicks in. And I'm like, that was my thoughts this morning when I journaled it. I'm like, fuck, if I'm feeling like this, then some of the guys will be like, Jesus. Jess Corton, t-shirt over there. Struggling every day, but keep pushing on. And that's what it's about, because the thing is, when you guys, when we all started the year, right, motivation will have been high. You've heard me discuss this. And if we rely on motivation, we'll always be screwed. Now, motivation has started to drop. Hopefully, you're still being inspired. You're still watching these videos. But motivation will drop. And when motivation drops, energy starts to drop. And that's when we need to be looking for inspiration. That's when we need to be going back to the goals that we set on day one. That's when we need to be going back to the emotional leverage. Why do I want to achieve this? Who do I get to become along the way? So again, I had to journal and remind myself, you can't not do your 10K on a Monday morning and expect to complete the 200 miler. Like Luke says, you can't expect to not do your stretches. Philippa Wilson, I'm really struggling to even get started. Right, all you need to do is what you need to do today. That's it. Plan your training session when you're in today. Get it done. Post a picture in this group for accountability. You only need to think one session at a time. You probably create an overwhelm with, I need to do all the mindset stuff. You know, I need to do this, I need to do that. Number one, even over and above nutrition, okay, is just get today's session done. Whether it's a walk, whether it's a run, whether you just need to keep it simple and go and do 40 to 60 minutes cardio at the gym, and then commit to it this week. 31 minutes cardio or more every day whilst listening to a mindset video. I said this in the Power Hour training, Philippa. It'd be worth going back to watch that if you haven't. That's in the list, the full list of mindset ones. I'll post them all, or I'll repost all of the runs since we've started this phase. With this one today, once I've uploaded it. But you know, we made it simple, didn't we? Just that. Even Philippa this week, 31 minutes of cardio every day, whilst doing the mindset video. Walk, jog, run from home, step ups on the bottom of the stairs, home body weight stuff. You know, it's a small commitment, and it's those small commitments that add up to massive results. That'll be 31 minutes. Should be able to have this up in my head, shouldn't I? Be 155 minutes cardio by the end of this week. Be 155 minutes mindset work. You know, don't overcomplicate it. One of the biggest things people do when they're struggling to get started, Philippa, is exactly what I just discussed in this whole training with the most important things. Like, we overwhelm ourselves with too many things. Like, pick the one thing that you need to do most today to move forward and do that. That's all you need to do, and you don't need to think past that. Guys, any more questions? But let's dig deep this week. Let's dig deep and have a big week because, like I said, this is the critical point. As I said, motivation has started to drop. It's cold, it's dark, it's wet. And it's a little bit of a period until things start to get easier. It starts to get lighter, starts to get drier, hopefully starts to get less windy. And you haven't done what you need to do yet for long enough for it to become a habit. That's why it's the danger zone, because we're in, what did I used to call this? This was in a training from Paul. It's the emotional cycle of transformation. Brain digging hard. So yeah, what happens is, remember that Gordon's right. This is where discipline kicks in. What happens is we start out, and it's what's called uninformed optimism. Signed up with Lee, got my new sneakers, got my new snazzy leggings, got my nutrition plan. I'm in the group. I'm watching the mindset videos. I'm progressing. I'm feeling great. New Year's resolution. I've stopped drinking. This is it. New year, new me. Let's go. Come on. And now, week 2, 3, 4, 5, we move from uninformed optimism into informed pessimism. This is going to be tough. Shit, things are starting to ache. Everyone wants to go and get fucked up on Saturday. Tracking food starting to do my head in a bit. Not sure this is for me. Some people have quit and left the group already. It even last a fucking week. Jesus fuck. Anyway, and it's just because it's got tough. And if we don't push through that informed pessimism, that's when we start to go down. And then you'll quit, and then you'll hit the pit. And you'll go back to your old shitty standards and your old shitty peer group that don't hold you accountable. Why? Because it's easier. It got tough. You quit, checked out. Don't be that person. You said it was important to you. Have integrity. Do what you said you were going to do. You're here for 90 days. You want the results, do the work. Because the only thing that happens, and this is why it's called the emotional cycle of transformation, is now you're at the informed pessimism stage. The newness has gone. It's not become a habit yet. You know, we're talking 30 days plus, the steps, nutrition, tracking, and all these other things to really become a habit. And you start to see the benefits of it. And then when we start to feel the benefits, that's when we build motivation, confidence, and self-belief, because we're starting to see the results. Nothing will motivate you like seeing change. Many people don't, like I said, 2 people quit in the first week. You know, people don't work long enough to see the change, and then they are, it's my fault, it's the plan's fault, it's the world's fault, it's the weather's fault, it's everyone else's fault. We know this, right? As long as you continue to blame someone else, you're always going to be fucked. Anything you can't say thank you for will also keep you stuck. The lone wolf will never win. The lone wolf will starve or be left with scraps at best. So stop lurking. But when you go from, this is why you've got these yo-yo plans. This is why there's a question, right? That people that want to join the full unbreakable plan or my signature service coaching, there's a question on the application form. That question says, what have you tried before and did it work? What do you think the most common answer is? Everything. Nothing ever works for me. Classic fucking victim mentality. Nothing ever works for me. Yeah, nothing ever worked for you because you never did the fucking work. That's the truth. Don't like it, don't care. I'm not here to be liked. Here to upscale you to the next level and allow you to achieve your true potential. That's what I care about. I want you to upscale. I want you to win. I want you to be better. Like I said, don't need to be liked. It took me a long time to understand that. But as long as I do my job properly, the right people will gravitate towards me. The other people will leave. But what happens is they are actually not lying. They have tried everything. And they've tried everything probably for the same 2, 3, 4 weeks that you've been in now. And then what happened? We've done this, delay the instant need for gratification. They didn't get the results they felt they deserved with the work that they'd done in the first 2 to 3 weeks. Guess what? You got the results that were exactly right for the work that you've done, because hard work will never lie to you. What you see in the mirror, what you see in your mind, what you see in your life, in your body, business, finance, relationships, everything is a direct reflection of the work that you've put into it. And whatever you give out, you will get back. Do you know how many guys I talk to who are like, yeah, my sex life is dead. Me and my wife don't have sex anymore. Really lovely phrase. Yeah, she never puts out. Yeah, she never shows me any attention. She never shows me any affection. You know, it's just, and I'm like, how much attention do you show her? When did you last date her? When did you last buy her some flowers? When did you last give her some love and affection? Maybe say, take a few hours off. I'll look after the kids. Come home with some flowers. Do you get what I mean? This is when we get locked into that. Whatever we give out, we get back. If you're struggling in your relationship and you're not getting any affection, go look in the fucking mirror. Okay. If everyone at work is arsey, miserable, and negative, go look in the mirror. If your kids are angry, snappy, and reactive, go look in the mirror. As I said, I'm not here to be liked, but it's so true. You know, what we give out, we get back. And that works with results as well. What you put in, you get out, whether it's energy, results, relationships, careers. But like, this is what happens now. I didn't get the results that I felt that I deserved. Well, no, you got, that's your expectations. Remember this always. anger, resentment, and frustration comes from unmet expectations. Your expectations were too high. Your work didn't meet the reactions. You got the right amount of results for the right amount of work. And if you want more, step up, do more, work harder, work longer. But back to that cycle. So what happens is we then get to week 3. Oh, it's tough. Oh, it's hard. Oh, it aches. Oh, you've only done it for 3 weeks. What you expected to be a fitness model in 3 weeks? So I expected, well, when I did it before and I did Janet swap 3 shakes with 3 meals 3 times a day and have some air and water for tea, I lost 14 pounds in a week. Well, of course you fucking did. You emptied the cupboards. Didn't lose any fat. That's why you're still fat now. Okay, so handle the expectations, lower them if you need to. And remember, you're only ever going to get out what you put in. The results that you get will be a reflection of the work that you did. It's not debatable. It's like Luke says. You know, every single person on a fat loss plan is in an extreme calorie deficit of 300 calories or more with training and everything involved. Probably more, some of you. I normally over egg it because I know you're going to forget things like milk in coffees and yada, 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 or just the odd coffee, in fact. So what they mean is I've tried everything and it didn't work. What they really mean is I tried everything for 3 weeks and I didn't get what I wanted, so I quit. And that's that cycle. And the key to you winning or losing is getting over that cycle. Because what happens if not? So we go uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, quit the pit. And we go into the pit of depression and weight gain and back to our old life, back to our old standards, until the pain gets that much that we're like, I'm going to have to do something about this. Can't even walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. None of my clothes fit. I'm depressed. And then when the person hits that pain point, the pain is that bad that they take action. Where do they go? Back up here. And they join another coach. Oh, yeah, I worked with that Lee Freeman. He was shit. Didn't work for me. I've done everything in the world. They're all shit. None of them worked for me. Maybe journal out what was the common denominator in each plan. All 20 plans were crap and none of them worked for you. What's the common denominator in every plan? You. That's okay. I've done all of this myself. Trust me. And then the same thing happens again. And then the same thing happens again. And that's why that's why in their head, they've done everything and none of it worked for them because they went uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, got tough, quit, hit the pit, went back to the start. Probably on a 4, 6, 8, 12-week cycle. So the key to you guys winning or losing is not quitting when the uninformed pessimism kicked in. Shit, this is going to be tougher than I thought. Christ, I can't go to that festival and get leathered because it's going to set me back. I need to learn to say no. I need to learn to train harder. I need to get up when it's cold, dark, and wet. I need to do what I said I'd do in the first place. Guys, I love you all. I hope that has been impactful. If you haven't got a ticket for Saturday yet and you come in, please let me know ASAP because there's food for each and every person and I need to let the hotel know. Also, I need to know for Luke's guest list in his whatever inch trousers, can't find it, in his 34-inch jeans. Let me know in the comments what's been your biggest take home. What's hit home? Is there anything you need any help with? Does that make sense? And if not, get off this video and get into planning an epic day because the level of your results, as I've said, will come down to the level of your planning and the level that you implement that plan and the work that you do. I love you all this week. Let's go. See you tomorrow.